Everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be filming my Wikathon TBR. So this is actually going to be my first year participating in Wikathon. So for this year it is Wikathon 3 Readerakas. I'm going to be participating this year because I only just found out about this like a few months ago, and I really want to participate because I want to read more like Filipino books and stuff like that. So for this year, which is Wikathon 3 Readerakas, there's 9 prompts, I believe, and they're all based on like Filipino movies, Filipino shows, and stuff like that. So I thought that was really fun and interesting. So I'm gonna go through all of the lists and I'll be showing you guys the books that I've chosen for each of the prompts. So the first prompt is called Gaya sa Pelikula, and this is a book that was adapted into a movie. So before I share with you guys the book that I've chosen for this prompt, I just want to say that I highly recommend that you guys watch Gaya sa Pelikula. It is a Filipino BL. It is available on YouTube to watch for free. It's really, really good. Highly recommend. So the book that I've chosen for this prompt is Smaller and Smaller Circles by F.H. Batacan. This is probably the only book where I actually like the movie cover version better than the original book cover. Widely regarded as the first Filipino crime novel, Smaller and Smaller Circles is a poetic masterpiece of literary noir. Bayatas, a 50-acre dump in northeast Manila, is home to thousands of people who live off of what they can scavenge. It is one of the poorest neighborhoods in a city whose law enforcement is stretched thin and rife with corruption. So when the eviscerated bodies of preteen boys begin to appear in the trash heaps in the rainy summer of 1997, there is no one to seek justice on their behalf. Until 2 Jesuit priests, forensic anthropologist Father Gus Saenz and his protege Father Jerome Lucero, take the matter of protecting their flock into their own hands. So the next prompt is called Diary ng Pangit, and this is a Wattpad book. So we have to choose a Wattpad book to read for this prompt. And the one that I chose for this is called Unwanted by Ramayana Rojas. I didn't really know what to read for this besides Diary ng Pangit, which is one of those Wattpad books that were adapted into movies here in the Philippines. Anyways, again, I didn't really know what to read for this because I don't know Wattpad books, let alone Filipino Wattpad books. So I want to read a blog post from your Tita Kate. I'll have her blog and stuff down below in the description if you guys would like to check them out. But yeah, I was reading one of her blog posts of like different books that she recommended for each prompt, and this was one of the books that she recommended, and I was just really intrigued by the cover. Lizaveta has always looked like the enemy, but her blood has always been off the throne. After leaving her life on a choice she made with a letter opener above a king's throat, a friend reveals that she has gained a continent. The last heir from a long line of dead men, she rises to the role meant for a dead prince, until she falls into his empty tomb. As the shadow of the crown looms above her, her pursuit of what happened that night seems futile. Pressured to find a husband, to protect an empire, and to remain quiet, she meets the silent and heavy truth. Ruling is to be ruled. But day by day, as secrets, crimes, and criminals emerge, she finds that maybe all the lies they said about her were true. A throne, an empress, a power unwanted. Okay, so for the next prompt, it is called Enteng Kabisote, and this is for a fantasy book. I've never watched any of the Enteng Kabisote films. My accent sounds so weird whenever I say Filipino words. So for this prompt, I chose the book Si Janus Lang at ang Tiyanak ng Tabon. This is one of the books that I saw from watching those like Filipino like book reviews and book hauls on YouTube. I believe this is a middle grade book if I'm not mistaken. I couldn't find this in any of the national bookstores that I went to, so I just decided to get this on Shopee from the publishing house, since the publishing house has their own like official like Shopee store, so I decided to just get it there. Before I read the blurb, please excuse my accent because I feel like I'm gonna sound weird when I read this. Also, I might have a hard time reading this because I'm not really that great at reading. That's also one of the things why I wanted to get Filipino books, so that I could expand my vocabulary and also to get better at reading Filipino. Sa tournament ng tala online sa bayan ng Balanga, namatay ang lahat ng manlalaro maliban kay Janus. Sunod-sunod pa ang naging kaso ng pagkamatay ng mga kabataan sa computer shops sa iba't ibang panig ng bansa. Kinontak si Janus ng nagpakilalang Joey, Isa rin umano sa mga nakaligtas sa paglalaro ng tala na gaya niya. Hindi inasahan ni Janus ang mga matutuklasan niya mula rito na mag-uugnay sa kanya sa misteryo ng what's this word? Kinahuhumalingan niyang RPG at sa alamat ng tiyanak mula sa tabon. There's a lot of words here that I already do not know, and this is supposed to be a middle grade. For the next prompt, it is called Bukas na lang kita mamahalin. This is for a book that you've been putting off. So the book that I've chosen for this one is Gapo by Luelhati Bautista. This is again one of those books that I saw from the Filipino book hauls and book reviews that I watched. I haven't gotten to reading it, and the reason is because I know I'm already gonna have a hard time reading this, and this is like a higher reading level, I believe. There's gonna be a lot more words that I will not understand with this book. Again, please excuse my accent and my bad reading skills. Sa Olongapo? I'm just gonna read it as Olongapo. Lumaki si Michael Taylor Jr., isang GI baby na hindi na nakilala ang ama. Kung anong galit ni Mike sa Amerika, siya namang pagkahumaling dito ng hostess na si Magdalena, na wala ng ibang hangad. Oh my god, I'm already having a hard time reading this. Na wala ng ibang hangad kundi makapang-asawa ng kano. Nariyan rin si Ali na nagkukumahog makahanap ng mapapangasawa para lang magkaroon ng ama ang batang nasa pangangalaga niya. At si Modesto, isang manggagawa sa loob ng base militar ng mga Amerikano na araw-araw dumaranas ng pagkaapi sa kamay ng mga puti. Ito ay kwento ni Mike, Magda, Ali at Modesto. Pero higit pa, ito ay kwento ng Gapo, lupa ng Pilipino, batas ng Amerikano. Anyway, next prompt is called Billy and Emma, a book with a queer main character. Okay, so for this one, I decided to go with I believe it's a graphic novel or a webtoon type thing. So I chose Life in Orange by Liz Me. And I'm going to be reading this on the Pen Lab website, which is a website where you can read Filipino comics, Filipino graphic novels, and webtoons and all that good stuff. I didn't even know this existed. So yeah, I will also have this website linked in the description. You guys can check it out. There's so many interesting books and comics and stuff on here. Vito has always followed societal norms, but his views are challenged when he becomes partners with a new student, Kahel, who is quite contrary of what people expect a teenage boy to be. I just chose this book because I thought the cover looked really, really cute, and I thought it'd just be nice to have a lighthearted, I don't know if this is actually lighthearted or not, but I just assume it's going to be more lighthearted and fluffy compared to the other books that I have already shown you guys. Next prompt is Saving Sally. This is a graphic novel or webtoon. So for this one, I also chose, again, another book from the Pen Lab website, and I chose the book Sol Dalusung and the Nameless Hero. This one is by Brizami. Once a celebrated demigod from a bygone era, Soledad Dalusung now spends her days as an archaeologist, using her gift of immortality to aid in the research of Philippine history. However, despite her attempts to live quietly in the world of mortals, the world of those beyond disturbs her peace once again. So for the next prompt, it is called Shake, Rattle, and Roll. This is for a horror, mystery, or thriller. I also haven't watched any of these Shake, Rattle, and Roll films. I know they're popular and there's so many of them, but I've never watched a single one because I don't like horror. The book that I've chosen for this prompt is Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Manansala. I believe this one is a mystery book. I just thought that the cover and the title was super interesting. When Lila, is it Lila or Lila? I'm just gonna call her Lila. When Lila Macapagal moves back home to recover from a horrible breakup, her life seems to be following all the typical rom-com tropes. She's tasked with saving her Tita Rosie's failing restaurant, and she has to deal with a group of matchmaking aunties who shower her with love and judgment. But when a notoriously nasty food critic, who happens to be her ex-boyfriend, drops dead moments after a confrontation with Lila. Her life quickly serves from a Nora Ephron romp to an Agatha Christie case. With the cops treating her like she's the one and only suspect, and the shady landlord looking to finally kick the Mahabagal family out and resell the storefront, Lila's left with no choice but to conduct her own investigation. Armed with the nosy auntie network, her barista best bud, and her trusted Dachshund Longanisa. Oh my god, that's so cute. Oh, that's so cute. The dog's name is called Longanisa. That's so funny. Lila takes on this tasty twisted case and soon fights her own neck on the chopping block. Second to last prompt is called One More Chance. This is a romance. So for this prompt, I decided to go read the Diary ng Pangit Wattpad book by Have You Seen This Girl? I didn't really know what to read for this prompt. I don't know much of like romance Filipino books, so I just decided to go with Diary ng Pangit since 1, I've never read it, 2, I've also never watched it. I wanted to give like the book a chance, and I also just didn't want to buy any more books. So for the last prompt, it's called Oro. This is a book by a non-Tagalog author. So the book that I've chosen for this prompt is Patron Saints of Nothing by Randy Ribay. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. And I honestly didn't know who to pick for this prompt because I don't know who's like non-Tagalog. So thankfully again I found one of the blog posts that your Tita Kate wrote, and she has like a lot of books listed of like non-Tagalog authors for this specific prompt, and this book was one of them. And Randy Ribay is actually Bicolano. Super happy that I get to read this. The cover just looks so cool. Look at the illustration, it looks so cool. Even the back, I love it. It looks so good. A powerful coming-of-age story about grief, guilt, and the risks a Filipino-American teenager takes to uncover the truth about his cousin's murder. Jade Aguero plans to spend the last semester of his senior year playing video games before heading to the University of Michigan in the fall. But when he discovers that his Filipino cousin June was murdered as part of President Duterte's war on drugs, and no one in the family wants to talk about what happened, Jade travels to the Philippines to find out the real story. Hoping to uncover more about June and the events that led to his death, Jay is forced to reckon with the many sides of his cousin before he can face the whole horrible truth and the part he played in it. As gripping as it is lyrical, Patron Saints of Nothing is a page-turning portrayal of the struggle to reconcile faith, family, and the immigrant identity. So yeah, that is all of the books that I will be... Hopefully I will get to all of them, but those are all of the books that I would like to read for this year's Wikathon. I'll have all of the links and stuff in the description of the blog posts and the Pen Lab website, so you guys can check them out. That is all for today's video. That is all of the books that I wanted to share with you. Let me know down in the comments of any of the books that you will be reading if you are participating in this year's Wikathon. So yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!